Taoiseach, Ursula von der Leyen embodies the shocking and blatant double standards that have been displayed by the European Union. She, on the one hand, is the most gung-ho for arming, supporting, whatever's necessary in terms of Ukraine faced with a brutal and illegal invasion. She then stands beside Netanyahu as he embarks on what we can now see is a genocidal, murderous massacre against the Palestinian people, and has the blood of those Palestinians on her hands for the position she took, and continues to defend the indefensible in terms of the unwavering support for Israel and its so-called security when it's massacring people. When she visited here, I pointed out this was Ursula von der Leyen, who had also, as Defence Minister, done arms deals with Saudi Arabia. No problem. Brutal dictatorship, sell them arms. Now, I honestly ask, given the disrepute she has brought the European Union in relation to these things, shouldn't we be saying very publicly she is not the person who should be leading the European Commission and leading the European Union? That she has brought it into disrepute, she embodies those double standards, and she should be removed from office and certainly not get another term.
Thanks very much, Oscar Corla. I join my Deputy America in extending my sympathies to the family of Pat from Dundalk, and associate myself with your remarks. I also welcome your commitment to the narrow water bridge, which President von der Leyen and I didn't discuss directly. But having said that, I know the importance of it to this country and indeed to your region and the constituency you represent. And I also take seriously the points about timelines and delivery of that project. I'm very happy to ask the relevant line ministers to keep you up to date in relation to that as well. Deputy Hoy, President von der Leyen and I did discuss the importance of climate, the Green Deal, and addressing the farmers, because I actually think at a European level we have a more magnified example of what can sometimes happen in this country, where people are asked to choose, wrongly, bizarrely, sometimes by the commentariat, sometimes in this House, sometimes for people's own narrow political interest. Are you on the side of the climate emergency, on the side of the farmers? Whereas actually government, public policy has to be able to do more than one thing at a time. We have a climate emergency, we have at a European level a Green Deal, we have the nature restoration law, which your MEP colleagues would have voted for, my MEP colleagues would have voted for as well, and I think that was the right call, and I think history will judge that to be the right call. I do believe President von der Leyen remains committed to the Green Deal, but also I think there's a recognition at a European level that I now think there also is at an Irish level, that there is a need to bring people with you in terms of showing people the transition, how you can continue to have an agri-food sector, how you can continue to encourage people, young people, to get involved in farming in a way that is environmentally sustainable. And we had a good conversation in relation to that. I was pleased, and I can send you a note on this, Deputy, I was pleased that there was language agreed in relation to Turkey and engagement, because whilst you may well be right, and I think you are, in relation to timelines for any future enlargement of the European Union in relation to Turkey, I think it is important to the region and the stability of the European Union to have good relations. And I was pleased that we had EU Council conclusions in April in relation to that as well. And look, I think anybody's tenure in any role has to be viewed in the round. I think at the start the European Commission's position in relation to Israel and the Middle East wasn't where it needed to be, to put it mildly. But I do also think it's important to remember that the European Council, European foreign ministers and others are those that provide the mandate in relation to these comments. And I think there's an obligation on all of us as European leaders to continue to advocate for an immediate cessation of violence in the Middle East.